MightyWolfTV.
Yeah, and then we got Japanese Nintendo 64 games. We got Animal Crossing, or Debotsu no Mori. I played this on the channel last year. Just like one video, like check out the profile and see what was going on. Yeah, it's basically a simulation type game where you play as a villager and you're with all these animals in a forest. And my battery thing went off again. It says I have 10% left. But anyway, I can't read any of this. Good thing there's apps for that. But yeah, this game is literally just it's literally this, but on the 64, and it has like a lot less content. Get back in there. Yeah, not really much for me to say. I didn't play that game that much either, so that's right. I gotta put it this way. Also have the original version of Mario 64, which is downgraded from the version we have, but which makes it interesting to own. There's like less sound effects, some sound effects are changed, some glitches occur that don't occur in the US version, and etc. Japan also got the Shindu version, which adds like rumble. I'll get that eventually. Yeah, speaking of upgraded versions with rumble, I got Wave Race 64, the Shindu version. Look at that, it actually supports the rumble. This is the version of the game we never got in North America. It's actually an upgraded version of the game. The only issue is that it's all in Japanese. Yeah, they improved the gameplay, they got new music, it adds rumble. Good news is it is technically on Switch. You just need a Japanese Nintendo account and a Japanese Switch Online, which you can just, so if you have a family plan, you can just link the Japanese account to that, and then you can just download the Japanese N64 service. That's what I did. And yeah. Alright, and so now we have the Nintendo 64 games. As you can see, I can't even fit them all in a single slot. Alright, so we have 1080 Snowboarding. This is what you expect. It's a snowboarding game. Not a bad one. It's just I don't know, I'm not crazy about how it controls. I definitely prefer its GameCube version much more. I mean, this game is fine for what it is. Maybe it'd be more fun if I did multiplayer. Banjo-Kazooie, this is one of my favorites. 100% of this quite a few times, even on the channel last year. So yeah, you play as a bear who has a bird attached to it, or him, I mean, and then you just go on a 3D platforming adventure, collect puzzle pieces and jiggies, and basically like another Mario 64. A pretty darn good substitute, if you ask. If you ask me. But yeah, I definitely recommend playing this if you haven't. It's on Switch, by the way, so. Come on. And then we got its sequel, Banjo-Tooie. Now, this just released on the 64 servers recently, and I actually beat it for the first time recently, and I do actually plan to play for this on the channel very soon. Really enjoyed this game. I'm not sure if I prefer Tooie or Kazooie, personally. I don't know, I still really enjoyed this game. I didn't think the backtracking was all that bad. It only made me want to, I don't know, it made, give you a reason to go back to other levels. I don't know, I'm honestly one of those people who are not turned off by backtracking. But yeah, this game is pretty hard. And yeah, I did manage to beat it. Even the Canary Mary Sky or Count Cuckoo Lands. Yeah, the spooning method. Blast Corp, I'm just gonna call it Blast Corps. It just sounds right. I know that S is supposed to be silence. If it's supposed to be silent, then why is there an S? But anyway, Blast Corps. It's a game where you get to control tanks and mechs, and you get to like blow stuff up and destroy stuff. There's another one that released on the 64 service by Rare. I didn't play too much of this, but it seems pretty cool for what it was. You could tell it was definitely one of the earlier Rare games on 64. I know it was originally called a Blastozer back in '95. But yeah, definitely an interesting one. Oh boy, Conker's Bad Fur Day, probably my most expensive N64 game. I remember getting this game was a pain. I like bought it with Christmas money in 2023, and then like I waited like a month and it never shipped. So then I bought another one that did ship, then it arrived and it didn't work, so I had to send that back. Then I had to buy a third one, which was actually more expensive than the other two, and then that arrived, and that was this one. But yeah, this game, I played this on the channel last year. Definitely a good one. I mean, honestly, it's more of a tech demo than an actual game, but it's still pretty impressive for N64 standards. I mean, the story is all over the place, and the final ending was like, what? But yeah, also rated M. Doesn't look like an M-rated game, but it is. Lots of violence and swearing and stuff, but yeah, definitely. But I don't know, underneath the M rating, it's still a really good game. But definitely check it out if you're like at least 17. I mean, I was younger when I first played it, I'll be honest. And then we got Cruisin' USA, one of the many racing games on N64. Definitely a solid one. I know you can get through this whole game in like 30 minutes. I would like to see these come to Switch. There's like a whole trilogy. But yeah, it's one of those realistic yet unrealistic games. Like realistic, like cool graphics, but like the physics and stuff are completely unrealistic. It's meant to be like silly, not taken seriously, but overall I still enjoyed the game. And then we got its sequel, Cruisin' World. 14 global tracks. I think one of these actually takes place in Florida. Or no way, that was Excitebike 64. I think. Yeah. Or no, maybe I forget. Yeah, Cruisin' World, basically the same thing but better. I don't know. I didn't really play this. It was a cheaper game. But yeah, I definitely would like to get to this one eventually. Also on the channel. Oh yeah, I didn't even know until now these are made by Midway. Yeah, I like those guys. I don't have Cruisin' Exotica yet, but I would like to get that eventually. And another racing game, Diddy Kong Racing, a fan favorite for many. I mean, this game is technically better than Mario Kart 64 just because like the characters are actually in 3D. And also, this is where Banjo and Conker made their debut. Can't really see them anywhere on the box art. Yeah, it's honestly the only time Diddy Kong got his own game other than, I guess, Donkey Kong Country 2, if that counts. Yeah, this game technically confirms that Banjo and Conker are part of the Donkey Kong universe. But it's the Kid Conker from Pocket Tales, 12 Tales. And Banjo doesn't even have, like, Kazooie in his backpack. But yeah, like this is a racing game that actually has a story mode that I barely touched, honestly, but I heard it was really hard. And you had to defeat that guy called Whiz Pig. Yeah, a lot of tracks. Oh, and they also got like you could drive, fly airplanes, and swim in watercrafts. That was pretty cool, especially for the time. Get all these different. Like, we still don't have like planes in Mario Kart other than the gliders. Maybe in Mario Kart 9 for Switch 2. Who knows? Donkey Kong 64, a universally hated game that I honestly really loved. This was part of my childhood. I never got far in this game as a kid, but as I got older, I played more and more of it and kind of gave up after I got to level 4. Still a great. I would like to beat this game eventually. It's just very long. It's like a 30-hour long game. Pretty beefy, but still a good game. I love, I think the graphics are charming. Like, it's basically, if you like Banjo-Kazooie, you definitely like this. It's made by the same people, it's the same engine and everything. Yeah, it's even. Yeah, there was originally gonna be like, they were originally gonna like sync together or something, or like with a stop and swapper. It's too bad that didn't happen. Yeah, this game was also pretty challenging. I mean, that's not surprising. Donkey Kong games tend to be hard. But yeah, I still enjoyed this one. Really hope they put it on Switch. Guarantee you, this will be the next game they put in. That or Smash 64, I have no idea. Excitebike 64, this is one I briefly mentioned earlier. But yeah, this is Excitebike in 3D. But this is a little different from every other Excitebike, because you're like actually like riding a bike in a 3D space. That was really cool. Even like this one had like a track editor. And look at that, 4 players. It was really good looking for a 64 game. Yeah, I think the music's pretty cool too. I didn't play too much of this, but from what I played, it's alright. Oh, and then we got F-Zero X, one of the best racing games on N64. I mean, come on. You had anti-gravity in this game like almost 2 decades before Mario Kart 8 did. It's like, I don't know how they did it. Like, it's so fast. There's so many tracks. And the music, oh god, the music is just so good. You have 4 players, and it still runs well. I mean, come on, man. This game, it's one of the best racing games on the entire system. One of the best F-Zeros in general, honestly. It's still pretty hard, but I mean, I played this on the channel like last year as well. Really good. I would love to play this with more people, but nobody I know in person ever wants to play this. They don't like playing anything before the GameCube or even before the Wii sometimes. I could probably get my friends to play GX. It's also a shame that the expansion kit never released in North America because we didn't get the disc drive. That was basically DLC for this game. I really wish we got that. Glover. This is a very odd one, but also kind of creative. You play as a glove, and basically it's basically a platforming puzzle game where you gotta like get that ball right there and get it to the end of the level, going for these obstacles and stuff. Also, fun fact, this game is actually getting re-released on the Switch and PS5 from Limited Run Games. Not on Switch Online, but like its own standalone re-release. But yeah, you just play as a glove and getting ball to the end of the level. That's pretty much it. It's cute. I think it's really cute. It's alright. Yeah, and another thing to mention, there's a Glover 2 that was canceled. And the prototype actually got leaked. Like the game was basically finished. You could actually go online and play it. I wonder if they'll leak it. I wonder if they'll like release it officially one day. And then you got this, one of the most popular movie license games of all time. And I am still to this day surprised that this got put on the 64 service. I'm also still surprised that this actually got widescreen support in 1997. How? Like, I know so many people praise this game and love it to death. I think it's okay. I'm not crazy about it. I don't know, I think if I played the multiplayer more, and I don't get to because, like I said before, my friends don't like to play, N64 games. I don't even have any friends right now because I moved to another state. But yeah, it's a first-person shooter based off the GoldenEye movie, or James Bond. Definitely is a good game, but I couldn't really get through it. It's actually one of the very few. It's also one of the very few hand-me-down N64 games that my dad owned back in the 90s. Yeah, my dad actually owned this. I think it's like probably one of the 4 games. Then we got Jet Force Gemini, another game I never really got far in. I thought it was okay. Also love how it says an all-new interstellar adventure. This is old. This is over 20 years old. It's 1999, I believe. But yeah, basically you go on space adventures as this girl or this dog or wherever the guy is. I don't see the guy. Oh wait, no, he is right there. Kind of hard to see for a second. And you go to planets and you fight aliens, and I'll be honest, I don't really have much to say about this game. It's just okay. And also another fun fact, the main theme for this game is literally just the music from the Roman world in 12 Tales Conquer 64. It's one of the most noteworthy things about this game, in my opinion, that the main theme just came from a Roman level in a canceled game. And then we got Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. One of the first Kirby games I'll ever play on the channel. Although I didn't play this game in my childhood, unfortunately. I didn't even know it existed until, 2015. But yeah, this is just, a 2D Kirby game on the N64. And it even has, up to 4 players for minigames. And they're actually pretty good ones at that. I never really got the chance to play those very much, but I actually did beat this on the channel, although I didn't do the secret ending. I should have done that. Although it's fine, I already know what happens. Yeah, to get the secret ending, you just have to get all the crystal shards, like in the name. Oh yeah, and then you have her, she's a new character. I'm pretty sure he comes from Dreamland 3. I don't remember. It was also the first Kirby game to be in 3D. That should be obvious. But yeah, I would definitely recommend playing this. It's a little challenging, like some of the bosses, but I still definitely enjoyed it. Kobe Bryant and NBA courtside, rest in peace. I don't know. It's just a basketball game. This is another hand-me-down that my dad had back in the 90s or early 2000s, actually. Yeah, this is one of my dad's from back in the day. Hey, I looked this game up on eBay. It cost maybe $4. Not really much to say except, we miss Kobe Bryant's. And then Madden 99, another hand-me-down game from my dad back in the 90s. I've probably only played this game once. I did not like it. It's just football on the N64. I'm not really, keep in mind, I'm not really a sports fan at all. I do not care about sports. I know some of you in the comments are probably triggered that I don't like sports. Like most people in the world. I know the Super Bowl's soon. I don't care. I like video games. I like animation. I like Nintendo. I don't know. Probably stop talking about sports now. And then Mario Kart 64. I promise you this is the last hand-me-down for my dad, and probably the best one. But yeah, this is definitely one of the best racing games on the 64, although I still prefer F-Zero X, but this game is still some good fun. Like, it's the first good Mario Kart. or is where the series really took off. Super Mario Kart was okay, but this one was much better. And look at that, you got the full screen, you got 4 players, you got like fully 3D tracks, even though the characters are still sprites. The rest of the game is still in 3D. You got a better, you got a better battle mode. And, you know, and the characters have voice clips. That's another cool thing. I still think this cover goes pretty hard. I just miss these like silicon graphics. They still look cool. But yeah, definitely a good game. I just don't like that there's only 16 tracks. Same thing with Double Dash. It's only 16 tracks. And then the Rainbow Road in this game is like so long. I think it takes like, what, 10 minutes to do it, maybe? Not even exaggerating. Then we got the Mario Party Trilogy. Some of the best games in the series, honestly. Mario Party 1, I really enjoyed this one. I played all 3 of these on the channel. I really need to play the 4th one soon, definitely this year. But yeah, this is where it all started, the original Mario Party. Frantic 4-player fun is right. Also, I hate how the dice block looks like it's saying Mario Party 3, but Mario Party 3 is right here. And they're on the same system. But yeah, basically, like all 3 of these games, it's just a board game, but then when everyone's done with its turn, you play a mini game, and that's like, the mini games are like one of the best things about the game. And then you collect coins to buy items in the shops, and then whoever has the most stars at the end wins the entire game. These 3 are basically the same game, except like, you know, they all have different boards and different mini games. Yeah, I know this one had like a lot of mini games where you like rotate the joystick. This game actually removes those because Nintendo was like filed with a lawsuit with like people getting blisters on their hands. That's why a lot of mini games from this one are actually in this one. They basically wanted a second chance of Mario Party 2, and then yeah, but like the cool thing about this one is that they're all wearing these uniforms, and they're in different worlds, or lands, I should call it. But yeah, really cool. And then this one, the theme is like, this is basically the same as the other 2, except you're like in like storybook lands or whatever. And this game also had like Waluigi and Daisy as playable characters. So you had 8 playable characters instead of 6. And so like in these 2, you only had Mario, Luigi, Donkey Kong, Peach, Wario, and Yoshi. But then this one had those 6 plus Waluigi and Daisy. No Toad, unfortunately, even though he's right there on the cover. Or Boo, or Piranha Plant, or Koopa Troopa. Actually, Piranha Plant was never playable in Mario Party. Smash Brothers, but not Mario Party. But yeah, definitely love these. I know many people say like these are the best in the entire franchise. And to some point, I agree. Mario Tennis. It's tennis. I'll be honest, I didn't really play this one much, but yeah, it's alright. I think the graphics in this one have honestly aged poorly. I mean, I think a lot of N64 games age poorly, but I think this game especially. Yeah, but the cool thing is, if you have the Game Boy Color version and the transfer pack, you can actually unlock stuff from the 64 version. But I don't even have the Game Boy Color version. I do have it on 64. I actually got this recently. But yeah, I don't think this game is bad. I think it's tennis. It's just tennis. Oh, and then you got Paper Mario, one of the very few RPGs on the 64, and probably the best one. Also, one of the best Paper Marios, right next to Thousand Year Door. But yeah, I'm still playing this on the channel. I'll hopefully beat it eventually. It's an RPG featuring, you know, Mario but like everyone and everything is made out of paper or cardboard or whatever. And you have Mario's trying to reclaim the Star Spirits so he has enough power to stop Bowser and get Peach's castle back onto the ground. Yeah, that kind of stuff. It's a really good game. If you like RPGs, definitely recommend this one. It's probably one of the best and also the most charming. Like, I don't know how anybody could hate this game. It's just so good. And then we got Perfect Dark, the spiritual successor to GoldenEye 007. Yeah, so what happened is that the James Bond license ran out when they were going to make a sequel to GoldenEye. So instead of making a sequel to GoldenEye, they basically made a sequel to GoldenEye, but they replaced James Bond with this new girl, and they made it a new IP, which was a great idea. I don't know, this game is not as talked about as much as GoldenEye, and it's honestly just as good. I mean, it controls very similarly. It has the 4-player mode. Oh, I never even noticed this expansion pack thing here. I mean, most N64s have expansion packs, thankfully, so not worried about that at all. But yeah, this is literally just another GoldenEye, except it's like more stealthy. And also, did you guys hear we're actually getting a new one for Series X? Although knowing what's been going on with Xbox lately, it's probably going to be put on PC, PS5, and Switch too. But yeah, who knows? Pilotwings 64, another launch title. One of the two launch titles, of the other being Mario 64. I wasn't crazy about this one. Wasn't crazy about the SNES version either, and I thought this one was actually... I mean, this one was a little better than the SNES one, but not by a lot. Just because it was in 3D. And also, one of the very few N64 games to have 60 frames per second in some spots. Unless you play it on Switch, then it's 60 frames the whole time. Fun thing I liked about this game. And yeah, it's a very also Mario head right there. Never even got to that. Like, I could never get far on this game. It's just so... I don't know. It's just... The whole game just feels broken. Like, I don't know how you get far on this game. Like, I don't know. Is it too... I feel like it's too demanding. I don't know how to explain it. I just could not get far in this. Like, it's one of those games I want to like more, but I just can't. But hey, it was a launch title for the 64. Probably got better first impressions back in '96. And we got one of the Pokemon games for Switch, Pokemon Snap. This is a game where you're on a track and you take pictures of Pokemon. Catching Pokemon is a snap, and you're literally capturing them with a camera. Bro, I swear this cover really looks like they're all getting sucked into it. And then that Meowth is in charge of it. Yeah, honestly, this game was really good, but like my issue with it, it's so short. Like, you could beat it in like 6 hours or less. I mean, some parts it's actually hard to figure out what to do next. I did have to look online for a few times. But yeah, great game, but very short. Though thankfully the new Pokemon Snap is better because it's longer. Yeah, we actually played that on the channel. I definitely need to play this one eventually. And then we got the Pokemon Stadium games. Stadium and Stadium 2. They're... I would say Stadium 2 is better just because it's basically Stadium 1, but with the Generation 1 and Generation 2 Pokemon. Yeah, these are literally just battle simulators, but the cool thing about this is they come with this little thing called the Transfer Pack, and if you have Pokemon Red, Blue, Yellow, or Gold, Silver, and Crystal, you could actually use your Pokemon from those games and battle with them in 3D and fight like the gym leaders and stuff. It's awesome. But you're not gaining experience or anything, and you're just copying those Pokemon from the GBA or Game Boy Color games. I feel like I would have liked these more if I played them back when, like, back in the 90s when I wasn't alive. But yeah, these games are pretty cool for what they were, especially... I mean, you could play these on the Switch, but like... I don't know, it's better to play them on actual 64 just because you could use the transfer pack. Although one thing I love about this game is that you could like... You could do it... Like, I also love doing the free battles where you could just like... choose... Like, you and another person could choose any Pokemon you want. You could like battle each other in 3D. It was so cool. I did that a few times. But yeah, I definitely recommend trying them if you have a Switch. Oh, we're almost done with the 64. South Park 64. Yes, I like this show. And there's another one that looks like it's for kids and it has the M-rated warning because of that. But yeah, this one's not that great, honestly. This game is no stick of truth. I'll tell you that. That was a much better game. So yeah, basically, you're just, it's a first-person shooter, and you're throwing snowballs, and you're trying to go through a level while fighting turkeys. Also, real quick, can we all just say this is a Thanksgiving game because of that? Because you're fighting turkeys. Though honestly, if you watch like the early episodes and then play this, you probably get a kick out of it. Like seeing the opening startup in 3D, that was pretty cool. Even if it was sort of rushed. But yeah, like honestly, it's one of those games where like it's only worth getting if you're into the show. And I don't have the other two. And then we got Star Fox 64. It's basically the original Star Fox, but in full 3D. It also includes the Rumble Pack. I think this game launched with it. Pretty big deal at the time. It was the first time Nintendo had like Rumble capabilities. But yeah, I did not really play much of this, although I love that this game has a 4-player battle mode. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, this game is definitely much better than the SNES one. Because like the graphics alone and the better gameplay definitely make this game more worthwhile. I know many people even say that this is the best Star Fox game ever. I mean, it was the only one that got a remake. It got on the 3DS. But yeah. And then we got Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Actually, no, I lied. This is the last hand-me-down game. I don't really have much to say about it. It's a racing game where, yeah, honestly, the title's pretty self-explanatory, and it definitely delivers what it promises. It's Episode 1 Racing. And this game actually got re-released on the Switch, by the way, and it's the same game, but it's in widescreen and HD. But yeah, it's alright. Can't get back in. And then we got Shadows of the Empire. I mainly bought this for my dad. My dad actually had this on the PC back in the day. I don't think he had it on 64, but anyway, I bought it for him to play. Really cheap. Just letting you guys know, I'm not really much of a Star Wars fan. But I did enjoy the heck out of the Lego Star Wars games when I was a kid. But when it came to regular Star Wars, I just didn't care. I just never really found it appealing. And I even saw some of the movies, I still wasn't crazy about it. And seeing how Disney ruined it, it definitely turned me off even more. But I still, I still respect, how they pulled off some of those effects back then. That was pretty cool. But yeah, Shadows of the Empire, basically just, flying around, and I actually haven't even played this game once, to be honest with you. Again, it was mainly just for my dad. You could, relive. Get in there. do I even need to say it? This right here, man, one of the best games on the 64 ever. It was also the first one I ever played on the. I first played it on the Wii Virtual Console. Absolute masterpiece. I 100%ed this multiple times. I mean, bro, this is literally like. This is where 3D platforming really took off. And also, yes, this is another launch title. Right next to Pilot Wings 64. But yeah, honestly, if you have not played this game before, I have to say, what's wrong with you? Go play it. It's on this. They put this on the Switch twice. 3D All Stars on the 64 service. Definitely check it out if you can. And you millennial parents out there, if you're watching this, please let your kid play this at a young age. I am begging you, let them grow up right. Show them this game. And then we got Smash Bros. 64. The start of the franchise. I played this on the channel too. Yeah, basically you're just fighting each other, and then you just gotta be the last one standing. You just gotta hit them off the screen. Yeah, it's also considered a big Nintendo crossover. Yeah, you got Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Pokemon, Metroid, Star Fox, Earthbound, F-Zero, Yoshi, and all that. Kirby. But yeah, basically, it's just where the Smash Bros. Series started. Definitely really started with Melee. That was where I got better. And then you also got to remember, and Smash Remix literally just updates this game and adds new characters and stages and gimmicks. I would honestly check that out over this. And then we got Superman 64. I mostly bought this one as a joke, because a lot of people say this is like one of the worst games ever. Hey, you know what's surprising about this game? It supports widescreen. Like, they did something right. But yeah, I played this game and I agree it's not that great. Although it's not as bad as people pointed it out to be. I mean, I was able to fly through a lot of the rings, no problem. But I heard about how like the game is so bad, even the people in the demo couldn't do it. Like, I think it's more funny, if anything. But yeah, not really much I could say about the game. I didn't play it that much. And The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, probably one of my favorite Zelda games ever. Probably my second favorite, or third. I still haven't played too much of Tears of the Kingdom. Still think Breath of the Wild is my favorite, but anyway, this one though, this was the first Zelda game I ever played and owned. I think it was the first one I owned, yeah. Like, this was the game that made me a Zelda fan. First tried it in the Smash Bros. Brawl game trials. And it is honestly one of the best 64 games ever. It's one of those must-plays, honestly. One game of the year in 98. Like, there's something about, like, you know, the music, the graphics, the whole world, just everything about this game, man. It's just so great. Definitely recommend it if you haven't played it already. And then you got The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask, which is the sequel to Ocarina of Time. This is one of those games I was never able to beat, no matter how hard I tried. Like, literally, whenever I play for this game, I get stuck on one part and then just give up. And then I start another save, then I get a little further than the last time, and then I get stuck again and give up. I don't know why. Never had, like, as much interest to beat this one. It's a great game, don't get me wrong. I love the gimmick of, like, constantly going back to the first day. Like so basically you have 3 days until like the world ends, and you have to keep going back in time to like progress. And you get like these masks, and you can like turn into these certain creatures: a Dekushra, a Goron, a Zora. But yeah, literally this was just 2 years after Ocarina of Time. They literally just made it with the same engine. So 50% chance if you played Ocarina of Time you would like this game. And also the other way around. Some people probably played this game first. Yeah, not a bad game, but it's just hard. That's all I have to say about it. It's hard. And you got Wave Race 64. I definitely like this one more than Tanini Snowboarding because it had better controls. Still think this game had some incredible looking water for a 64 game. Not that impressive now, but for a 64 game, pretty good. And this is another game that had like 2-player. I think it also had 4. I forget, but I know it definitely had 2. Definitely a fun one to do multiplayer with. It's one of those games where the multiplayer is more fun than the single player. The only thing I hate about this game though is sometimes the controls are bad, and then the big thing is the whole like LR thing. It's like, why can't I just race normally? Like I don't like that. And then every time you pass one, this guy in the background goes, okay. It's annoying until you max up your thing, and it goes maximum power. And then every time you miss one of those things, it just like goes and you just like lose all your power. It's not great. It's the only thing I hate about this game. Like, why couldn't it just be like a normal wave race? Yeah, there's always Hydro Thunder. I haven't really played that yet, but I should. Alright, now we're on the last N64 game, Yoshi's Story. Another 2D platformer on the 64. Very short game, honestly. I played this on the channel a few years ago, and it was only like 2 videos long. But like much like Shadow the Hedgehog on the GameCube, there's like multiple paths you could take. I suppose you're meant to like play through it multiple times, but I don't even know if there's like a true ending or not. There might not be. But yeah, it's a little different. Instead of like Yoshi's Island where you just go for the level of Baby Mario, you instead have to like go for this open world 2D level, and you just gotta like collect all the fruit, or you gotta collect enough fruit to make Yoshi happy or something, whatever, I don't know. That was another game I thought was adorable, but still a little challenging. Yeah, it's funny, when this game started development, it was originally called Yoshi's Island 64, but then they called it Yoshi's Story. And also F-Zero X was originally called F-Zero X was originally called F-Zero 64. Yeah, it's funny how some of these names change, and Ocarina of Time was Zelda 64. But yeah, definitely a good game. Check it out if you haven't. Probably one of the most unique 64 games. No other one like it.